Hello and welcome to BBC's final newscast. We have a very special program for you today. For over 500 years now, we have been there to report on the most important events in Great Britain, but we have saved our best show for last. Today, we have a series of reports, diagrams, eyewitness accounts, and past footage to completely review our grand country's past. Our first guest is one of the most charismatic leaders to ever sit on the British throne, Henry Tudor VIII.
Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. Can you tell me about the recent separation from the Catholic Church?
Well, you see, I'm very dedicated to the purification of the Christian religion. For example, all that wealth the monks were hoarding away in their monasteries, how was that Christian? The money belongs in our kingdom and should go toward bettering our nation. Overall, I feel that the Christian religion has been corrupted by the Catholic Church and the Pope in particular. This recent break from the Catholic Church had nothing to do with my desire to marry Anne Boleyn, but rather their refusal to recognize my marriage to Catherine of Aragon as null and void, as well as a crime against our Lord. Their Spanish loyalty to her blinded them from the truth. And this is just one of the many ways in which the Catholic Church is backwards.
And now we go to the British Agricultural Revolution. The British Agricultural Revolution was a period of agricultural development in Britain between the 15th century and the 19th century, which saw an epoch-making increase in agricultural productivity and net output that broke down the historical food scarcity cycles. Every continent in the world has experienced a period of famine throughout history. One such famine is the Irish potato famine. The Great Famine was a period of mass starvation, disease, and emigration. During the famine, approximately 1 million people died and 1 million more emigrated from Ireland. One of the keys to the British Agricultural Revolution was the development of ways of keeping and improving the arable land in Great Britain to counteract the loss of the soil's plant nutrients in cropping a given area. Let's go to a local farmer who will explain some of these new innovations.
New crops like potatoes and corn were introduced from the Americas, improving the yield per acre of arable land. Farm workers, such as myself, are using more productive tools and machinery to produce more crops with fewer workers. We also use a method called crop rotation, which is a practice of rotating the use of different fields from crop to crop each year to avoid exhausting the soil. We are now using horses instead of oxen and sowing seed with drilling equipment instead of by hand. We also have started using enclosures.
Well, wasn't that interesting? The Agricultural Revolution was clearly an important turning point in history, but arguably even more important was the change from an agricultural to an industrial society, and from home manufacturing to factory production, especially the one that took place in England from about 1750 to 1850. Now let's look at this report from an English factory.
Handcraft workers are attacking whole factories in northern England and are smashing the new machines. But what has caused for such destruction? Let's find out. Sir! Hello! Could you please explain what's going on here?
We are protesting against the changes produced by the Industrial Revolution that replaced us with less skilled, low-wage labor. These machines are putting us textile artisans out of work!
Remember our dear friend France? We had so many good times. Ooh, like when their entire monarchy went up in flames and Napoleon took over? And then we, Prussia, Russia, Saxony, Sweden, and Austria, all fought him until we exiled him, and then he came back and we got rid of him again. So by the end, we, the United Kingdom, at this point emerged as by far the most powerful country in the world, and the Royal Navy gained unquestioned naval superiority across the globe. This plus our large, powerful industrial economy made us perhaps the first truly global superpower and ushered in the Pax Britannica that lasted for the next 100 years, and nobody cared about France anymore. Another important event was the European scramble for Africa. Let's take a look at this footage from the Berlin Conference with Prime Minister William Gladstone.
It is a great honor for me to attend this Berlin conference. Let me state that it is our intention to remain in peace with the honorable attendees of this conference and the countries they represent, and in no way construe Great Britain's policy of extending our political and economic influence in Africa as a challenge to Europe's peace. I'd like to emphasize how important it is that Great Britain maintain deep water ports in Africa, especially South Africa and Egypt, for the good of every country represented here at the Berlin Conference.
Let's go to the next important event in our history, World War I.
In the summer of 1914, Europe went to war willingly and with excitement. But the war quickly degenerated into a senseless military stalemate. When the Germans invaded Belgium in 1914, everyone on both sides believed that the war would be short and that the boys would be home by Christmas. They were very, very wrong. Trench warfare followed. The cost of lives were staggering. In the Battle of the Somme, more than 1 million were killed or wounded. The Battle of Verdun, the very same year, cost 700,000 lives. 1917 was horrible too, and was described in the famous novel All Quiet on the Western Front. Trench warfare shattered an entire generation of young men. The war ended with an armistice in November 1918. The Treaty of Versailles was signed in early 1919 and was imposed on the defeated German nation. Germany was not sorry for what it had done. A power vacuum existed. A vast area lay open to military aggression from two sides, and the stage was set for another great war.
After World War I, everybody hoped that there would be peace on the continent of Europe. However, that was not so. The Second World War can be considered the quintessential total war of modern the conspiracy of the Jews.
Peace in our time, we avoided war!
So, how do you feel about this issue?
Well, I know, just as any mother does, how hard it can be to feed a family. And in some cases, it's just impossible. This is something that the upper crust simply can't understand. Now, I'm not just saying that people should just go around killing their children for no good reason. But in some cases, it's just the best choice.
That concludes our final broadcast. Thank you to our viewers and sponsors, McKay, Vault, Sherman, Frailer, and especially Wikipedia. Now please allow us one last time to say goodbye.
There's a sad sort of clanging from the clock in the hall, and the bells in the steeple too. And up in the nursery an absurd little bird is popping out to say cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Regretfully they tell us, but firmly they compel us to say goodbye to you. So long, farewell, I'll be to say goodnight. I hate to go and leave this pretty sight. So long, farewell, I'll be to say adieu.
Adieu, adieu, to you and you and you.
So long, farewell, au revoir, I'll be to say. I'd like to stay and taste my first champagne.
Yes?
No.
So long, farewell, I'll leave it saying goodbye. I leave and heave a sigh and say goodbye. I'm glad to go, I cannot tell a lie. I slip, I float, I fleetly I fly. The sun has gone to bed, and so must I.
So long, farewell, I'll be to saying goodbye,
We're better than friends. I just said revolution. After the First World War I, termed shortage, recession in Africa.
Maybe I shouldn't be the anchor because I obviously cannot speak English. I just have a lot of spit in my mouth.
I think that's gotta be on a blue thing. You look really funny from the back. Come here. You look ridiculous.
So long, farewell, I'll leave it saying adieu. Adieu.
There are so many hairs in my mouth.
Nice outfit.
How do you use a hoe? What is a hoe for? I don't want to ruin the ground.
It's juicy. That's the most awkward hoe. Okay.
Okay, I see what's happening here.
I'm gonna be holding my cat.
Yes. We need like pictures of like sad things to look at. Holocaust, Holocaust,
Holocaust, Holocaust,
Holocaust, Holocaust.
You two are like the same person.
It's really funny. Okay.
How do real people do that? Pretending that people laugh. They were very, very wrong. They were very, very wrong. They were very wrong. They were very, very wrong. They were very, very wrong. 700,000 lives. No. We hate everything! I like that lamp over there. Yeah, these machines are putting us textile artists. God damn it! God damn it!
Alright, you ready?
No! What? Well, how?
Lucius, I require your wand. Why do you live? Because I have something worth living for.
Hello, Hamora!
Camera.